is up, y'all? We are back. We got the full crew here tonight. We're gonna do got a lot of videos. Huh?
We need a crew name.
Bloody Chuckles crew.
No, you're Bloody Chuckles.
I'm not Bloody Chuckles. It's the
Bloody Chuckles Studio.
You've always
Bloody
been.
Chuckles Studios.
You've always been Bloody Chuckles.
Well, he's in like Monster though.
That's his work name.
That's been his name forever though. Like, other than 5.
like the CKY crew or the Bloody Chuckles crew.
I want to go by the BC.
The BCC.
Big Cock Crew.
There you go. Anyway.
We have steep dreams.
Anyway, we are here talking about the brand new Marilyn Manson album that just came out, We Are Chaos.
Just a few weeks after we talked about the song.
Yeah, just a few weeks. Now, funny thing is I think I might have forgot to say this when we were reviewing the song a couple weeks ago, that I was like, you know, I dug the song because it was different. It was happy sounding, but he's talking about how shitty we are.
Happy sounding?
And yeah, it was a very, well, I guess a more upbeat, not an angry sounding song. For the kind of material.
It was a more poppy kind of
yeah, it's not a fucking rock song.
It reminded me of David Bowie.
I mean, obviously, yeah,
Everyone
but it's a very, it
sounds just like a David Bowie song though.
It's a very fucking happy sounding song about how shitty we are as humans. Now, I said, I wanted to say, hopefully, I like the song more in the context of the rest of the album, and I can say, it does. I like the song a lot more in the context to the rest of the album and the way the album sounds. But what I'm going to say is that song, I will say big balls for making that the first single, because number one, after hearing the album, it is not the best representation of the album, and it is the best representation of the way the album sounds. And I've been hyped because whenever he has done anything with Shooter Jennings recently, I've always liked it. And yeah, this album all the way through, I can't call them bangers because they're not really bangers, but they're good. I like it. It was the first time, and I said this about Pale Emperor too. It was the first time in a long time that a new Marilyn Manson album has made me listen to it again right after the first listen. Where I'm like, I want to hear what's going on again. I want to, you know, because I still,
good albums.
Yeah, I still
when you
have
listen
a
to
problem.
it, you're like,
I need to go back to
I am so
now.
hyped right now. You want to keep chasing that high that you got.
Yeah.
Listening to it.
And it didn't dwindle.
And
I've probably right now, the album dropped yesterday. Since yesterday, I've probably listened to it about 6 times all the way through. And every time I listen to it, I hear other things that I like a lot more. But the same thing happened with Pale Emperor, where after it was done, I was like, do I like this? Let me listen to it again and see. You know, and I kind of had the same feeling. I was like, do I like this? What's going on here? And I listened to it again.
Zach, do I like this?
And
I don't know.
Yeah,
liking something is very subjective.
But for some reason, I still have a hard time getting into his last album, Heaven Upside Down.
That album fucking sucks.
It is just not very good to me. But man, this one's really good. I like the hell out of it.
Heaven Upside Down.
I think that album, the last album, was like him trying to get back into the scene.
Yeah, and it's like
he's been so far out of it for like so long.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you can't be the god of fuck all the time.
Didn't that come out around the time where he was falling off stage?
Yeah, when he was falling off stage.
He was just being a dick during that tour that should have been amazing. It's Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie, so it's like almost a Marilyn Manson reunion. It's got his band.
Yeah, so give me some initial thoughts, Josh, real quick.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Oh, you don't like it? Let's see what Josh got to say. He says he doesn't
Infinite
like
Darkness is the only song I like on.
Wow.
Because if I want moody blues, I want like Pale Emperor.
Now,
Cupid Carries a Gun is such a better song than the rest of this. Damn album is too soft for me.
It is a soft album.
It's
a
way
very
too damn
soft.
soft.
The thing
It's
that
not
had me
blues.
excited
It's
when
not
I
that
first-
stompy
It's soft,
Yeah.
but it's also loud.
The first song I heard on there, right? I was like, was it Red, Black, and Blue?
Yeah.
And I was like, see, I remembered it, which is why I
It
like
takes
it.
like fucking 2 minutes for anything to happen in that damn scene.
Well, see, there's that, but see, even though after hearing it though, I was like, damn, the rest of this album, other than that shitty We Are Chaos one to me, like at the time when I first heard it, I was like, the rest of this, I'm really hoping it was like that first song, because that's kind of like how old or heavier Manson is what I like. Like I've always like, obviously, like I like heavier
Picture
music,
of your face, man.
but like, yeah, like I was like, But so like that first song though, I was like, I really dug the first song, even with the slow intro. It wasn't Tool, so it was once it hit, it was over, and it was good. I had to re-listen to it, and I was like, yeah, that got me excited to hear the rest of it. Now I was disappointed though. I see where Josh is coming from because a good out of 10 songs, only
There's
3 of them,
not a lot of heavy.
only like 2 or 3 of them are actually kind of
Infinite
heavy.
Darkness is the heaviest one on there.
It is among the heaviest.
It's one of the heaviest because I know Perfume.
Perfume, I fucking love Perfume.
Yeah, Perfume's
I'm gonna
pretty heavy.
gush about this album in a minute.
Yeah, Perfume's pretty heavy, and then Don't Chase the Dead has moments of heaviness. I really like that one. Like when I heard that, that gave me hopes after hearing We Are Chaos. Because like I said, I told you before, I didn't like We Are Chaos by itself. And I think you're right though, it does
It makes
help
it better.
the album,
Yeah.
but
Remind
it's still
me
a shitty
what
song.
he says in Perfume.
I'd have to look at the lyrics.
But yeah, that one's pretty good.
You know, you could just Google it.
I could, but this is right here. This is more authentic.
Don't be lazy fuck, Zach. Just Google. But yeah, I agree with it's not one of my favorite albums, but I do think it's a cool chill album, and it sounds good.
Like it is nowhere near among my favorite Manson albums, but it is
that's like
definitely
listening to Korn, 'cause
it's definitely one of my favorite modern Manson albums. Like out of the last 20 years, well, I would say maybe the last 15 years, because I do like Golden Age a lot. But out of the last 15 years, this is among my favorites. But let me see.
So where do you rank that but next to Pale Emperor?
You know what? I think I like this a little more than Pale Emperor.
You're just running on the high, man.
I might be running on the high, but
He's gonna have to
you
go
know
back
what's
to Pale
weird,
Emperor and then
dude?
compare and
I get
contrast.
Pale Emperor
In a couple
vibes.
of months, or maybe about a year from now, you'll probably feel different.
I get Pale Emperor vibes, whereas like Pale Emperor feels a little more masculine. Maybe this one feels a little more feminine. Maybe there's like a two-sided coin. But let me see. Perfume. Oh yeah, Perfume is where he's like, get behind me, get behind me, get behind me, Satan. Fucking dug that, man. And
What's the hook? That was the hook?
well, that's part of the hook, but there's
I think my least favorite thing about Manson though is the whininess that he gets when he sings, when he just sings, because he's like. Like it just sounds like he's choking on something.
Who's doing the falsettos on here?
He's always done the falsettos.
Not like that.
But yeah, I like it when he does it on here with the get behind me, get behind me.
Like it reminds me a little bit like anything by Manson anyway reminds me of Halloween.
Was that kind of the doo-wop?
Like a sad Halloween.
No, the one that I got that a little misconstrued. It's that doo-wop chord progression, but it's more. That song is "Paint You with My Love," and it's more of a country kind of song. It is very much. Yeah, like he's straight up painting her Jackson Pollock style
Like that's
all
what
over
I
the
was like.
face
That's
with
a
his
horrible
love.
name. And then listen to the lyrics. It's like the lyrics aren't very sexual.
But
But that title is horrible.
but it is very much. It sounds like it could be an Orville Peck song, and I'm like, Universe, give it to me now. Give me an Orville Peck and a Marilyn Manson collab. Let's do it. How about it, Universe? Give it to us. But yeah, it was very country-esque, very ballad country-esque, but not country. Like I don't know,
Hold on.
fucking great.
I gotta go kill the roach. I I gotta go smash a roach.
But yeah, give me more on why you don't like it, Josh. Because I mean, I like
really
these.
it. Don't sound as good as Pale Emperor. Pale Emperor sounds like a bluesy, a dark, gothy blues album. This one just sounds like him whining again.
I never listened to Pale Emperor.
Pale Emperor's good.
I think I only heard. Well, I mean, I'm sure I heard like his singles.
I would say Third Day of the 7-Day Binge is like
Yeah, I heard
not
that
a great song.
That's the one of the weakest ones.
Yeah, now, that was another one where I
Cupid
was
carries a gun,
yeah.
killing strangers.
What's
fucking
the pound me the West drums?
Cupid carries a drum.
Okay,
carries a gun.
Yeah.
And then there's Worship.
Devil Beneath My Feet.
Beneath My Feet.
Really good album. It was the first time where I was like, as an adult, I was like, this is something I can get down to. This is, this doesn't sound like high school. Like, this sounds like...
So I thought Marilyn Manson
I
via Louisiana.
I remember I actually did listen to it. No, I don't remember any of it.
And if you watched any of the John Wick movies or watched the show Salem, you've heard that songs from that.
Yeah.
Because the theme song for Salem was Cupid Carries a Gun and John Wick does Killing Strangers.
Yeah. Killing Strangers is cool too. That was a really good album. Really good album. Like that was another one, but like this one, I'd say, to be honest, I might like them both about the same. Like, I mean, right now, like Zach said, I'm riding that high. Like, for me, it starts off, I love the intro to Red, Black, and Blue. Like his creepy little spoken word bit.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And then you get like this, the laugh track after he says something. I'm digging that. Then the song comes in and I'm like, all right, it's a bit of a heavy song. Here's the thing, a lot of his stuff, the Heaven Upside Down has some of his heaviest songs in a long time. Like that's a lot of Heaven Upside Down is closer to the older heavy Manson. But some of it is just, it doesn't do it for me. I don't know why.
You're older.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, but so it's like that half heavy Manson, where it's like it's heavy, but it's not. Like then there's screaming bits too, and he doesn't really scream a whole lot anymore in his music, and then it goes to We Are Chaos, and I do hate the placement of it because I could skip that song just because I already know it. Well, and it's so early in the album.
I mean, you've explained that too. That was like the last Slipknot album we talked about. You had the same thing where all the singles were at the beginning.
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
through them all.
And
I think that it was a bad placement. I think it should have been like way
middle at least. Yeah.
Because you had this hyped up song in the beginning. Like your first song was like, all right, Manson's in there. It's actually decent lyrics, and the sound is pretty good, and it flows really well. And then it hits a brick wall, and We Are Chaos slows everything down.
And I'll say though, like, I get it, because it's like We Are Chaos. The placement of it being track number 2 is like, I'm gonna give you the different shit instant. It's like I'm gonna pull you in with something you're familiar with, and then I'm gonna punch you with something you've never fucking heard before. And that's why I'm like, man, I get why he did it as a single, but at the same time, I would have liked that song better as a surprise.
Yeah, like an extra.
Yeah, because if I was listening to this album for the very first time without hearing that as a single, I probably would have liked the song a whole lot more. But so then, what's after that?
Don't Chase the Desert.
Yeah, because Manson mentioned that this is a concept album that we're supposed to figure it out. He said the placement of all the songs have a reason to be there, so I can't fault the man for making it track number 2. So I can't complain about that, but it's so early in the album that I could skip it if I'm not in the mood. But then Don't Chase the Dead.
I dug it.
I dig it. I do.
It's groovy.
Very groovy.
And it doesn't it's not too heavy, but it has like this real good beat to it.
And you know what? When he dropped that single like a day or two before the album came out, I refused to listen to it because I was like, I'm a one-song guy most of the time. And especially for an album with only 10 songs, that would be damn near, that's 2 songs down, so only 8 will be new to me.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of people were saying it has Nirvana vibes, and I don't hear it. I don't hear it at all.
I never got that.
But then a lot of people were saying, oh, it's very 80s, and I'm like, I am over people doing the 80s style at the moment. I am over it. Luckily, it doesn't sound like 80s like people were making it sound like it could have been. There's a slight 80s vibe to it, but a couple years ago, I was into it. I was like, I'm cool with these people doing a more 80s goth style. Like AFI's newest album from a couple years ago sounds like a Morrissey record. But now when Smashing Pumpkins drops 2 brand new songs and they both sound exactly the same and they are straight up going for that 80s style, I'm a little over it at this point. So I was glad that it didn't sound like that. But it is groovy. It's a really cool track. And then after that, when you get to Paint Me With Your Love, that song hit me with the kind of surprise I was explaining that I would have loved to have with We Are Chaos. Because Paint You With My Love is another one that is nothing like anything he's fucked with before. Because it's got that doo-wop chord progression.
It's like a twang.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a country twang in the background. It is a really good song. I love the shit out of it. Yeah, there's a country vibe to this track. Like I said, it sounds closer to Orville Peck kind of country, which I highly recommend. Check him out, man. It's more like Chris Isaac or when Elvis did country music. It don't sound like, it ain't no Dixie Chicks. You know what I mean? It ain't no Brad Paisley. Like, this is legit.
Yeah.
Highly recommend checking him out. But it is a very Orville Peck kind of style, like a hipstery kind of southern vibe in there. And then Halfway and One Step Forward, another one. To me, from Paint You With My Love to the end of the album, flawless. Flawless.
It got better.
Yeah, it's like every time, it's like all the surprises were coming. Every song was like, whoa, we're going here, okay, all right. It's like he warms you up with Red, Black, and Blue, punches you in the face with something different, and then gives you something a little groovy, and then it's like, all right, I gave you what you kind of wanted, but here's what I want you to hear.
I would say minus the 2 first songs. I mean, from Chase the Dead on, it just steadily went up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Don't Chase the Dead was like, I dug the hell out of that song. I was surprised too because I'm not a really huge Manson fan. But I was like, okay, I can get into this. And then like with you, I can understand liking the Love, but I didn't care for it. But I don't like country style stuff anyway. But yeah, I didn't really care for it. It was just kind of like,
I couldn't find it, so she might text me back.
I mean, I listened to it when it came on the album, but it's probably not my favorite song on there at all.
It's up there with among my favorites.
And then the other one you just mentioned.
Oh yeah, well, Halfway and One Step Forward.
Yeah, I like that one.
That was really good.
And then right after that's Perfume, right?
Right after that is Infinite Darkness, Josh's favorite. And that one is great.
That one's fantastic.
That is fucking great. That is, it's heavy.
How does that one go?
God.
They're shitting on the ground.
Is that the one where it's like, I fucking love you, I love fucking you?
Oh yeah, that one. Okay.
I'm like,
I remember that.
I'm like, there you are with them lyrics, man. I do. Yeah. That's rad, man.
Yeah, I like that. That's a synth distortion in there. Like
yeah.
You know that's a guitar.
Yeah.
But it's like that distortion that they put into it, where it's like synthesized downwards. That's pretty cool. I love that sound.
Play Perfume for a second, so I can get a little.
Yeah, I like Perfume.
Little refresher on Perfume, because one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I really dug that.
Fucking dug
That's
that.
one of my favorite ones on there.
Yeah, then give me Keep My Head Together. That one is really fucking good. Yeah. I dig the drum beat.
That reminded me of an old Manson drum beat.
Yeah.
A lot of the album did, like, I was on Travis's Space, but some guy mentioned it sounded a lot like that one song, what's the song? Don't Chase, or no?
Yeah, this riff. I love the guitar riff on it. This song gives me vibes of like Sister Machine Gun.
But, he said Don't Chase the Dead had the same riff as the Seventh Day or whatever.
Yeah, and I didn't hear it.
No,
I could not hear that.
I was like, no offense.
Could not hear that.
I listened to it a couple times and I was just like, I don't get that song either. Even if you put them next to each other, like they're not the same riff. They're not the same beat.
But one song.
Maybe the same.
Is it? I think it's Broken Needle. But play Solveig Coagula real quick, 'cause man, that's another good one.
So Evelyn.
Yeah, this one's really good, man.
My daughter came in. I was listening to Flaming Lips earlier. My daughter comes in. She goes, "What's this majestic music that you're listening to?"
Now, play the final track. Y'all listen. Play Broken Needle for a second and tell me what this sounds like. The bass track coming up.
Probably because it's so common.
You know, maybe it is Solveig Coagula.
That's me.
Murder. It's
Murder. Yeah, it's Solveig Coagula. We gotta find that shit. It's at the beginning mostly. Not that part. It's like before he really starts. It's like as soon as he starts singing. Yeah, it's this song. Rewind it to the beginning.
Damn joke.
All right, y'all listen now.
Sounds like Linkin Park.
No. Keep waiting. No. Keep it playing, because
That's what it is.
that's what it is. But it starts to. Anyway, sounds like pumped up kicks. It goes boom, 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 boom. It does the exact same pumped up kicks thing.
Okay, that's the 4-chord progression. Yeah, I heard that. I remember that.
Yeah, it's like I was like, wow. Even told Stas, I was like, man, this sounds like pumped up kicks. She was like, yeah.
You know what that also is? Everything else, but the Offspring gone away.
Yeah. But yeah, to me, the whole album, all the way through, definitely gets better from the moment you turn it on. Like I said, it starts off, you're
Yeah, but then you get the.
I would have loved to, like, either like you said, have a secret. I would say, like, if We Are Chaos was more of a secret track.
Yeah, if it wasn't
or
a
if it was
single,
the first song.
If it a first song, it probably like.
But also putting it in there in between everything else still weakens.
I think it slows it down too. Like I said, you hit this high and then you get right there.
Yeah, you do. It's a weird vibe.
And I think that if they would have surprised the album with it as the first one, right? Because then you come out. If they just switch those two, because then you have this hyped up right into Don't Chase the Dead, and then it kind of slows down to just enough.
See, I think if that song was track number 1 and wasn't a single, Manson heads are gonna put this album in and be like, "What the fuck is this?" And never give it another chance.
I think they would have gave it. Most people who are Manson heads would give it a chance. At least they'd hear that second song and be like, all right. This is where it starts at.
What would you say a Manson head is? Someone that dropped out and stopped
like that.
Stopped listening to Manson?
I don't know, man.
Or would you say they're
the average Manson fan is a fickle beast?
Like, where do they drop off in his his catalog.
I don't know. A lot of people
a
lot of people say Portrait's the only good album. A lot of people say Mechanical Animals is the only good album.
Know, but see, when they say that, is it like, how many have you heard? And are you just being cynical?
The one, I think it's the one before Perfume. Which one was that? That was the. It was no, that's Infinite Darkness. It was
Keep my head. Oh no, yeah, Infinite Darkness.
The one before that. What was the one before that?
That is halfway.
Okay, so that one, I think it's that one. It reminded me of. It might have been one of those songs on there. I can't remember. I think it's that one though. Had like this where it sounded like. What the fuck was it? I had the thought.
He had the thought.
No, it's Adam Sandler plays it. He called it like.
Damn, what the fuck was it? Dracula?
No. He doesn't play the character. He was in Big Daddy, or not Big Daddy. What's the one? Mr. Deeds, where they're flying in the plane. He starts singing. You remember Mr. Deeds at all?
I have not watched Mr. Deeds.
No, not that one. The last new Adam Sandler movie at that time that we watched was probably Big Daddy. No, we saw.
I know I saw 51st Dates.
We saw that that was the last one, but then we also saw Little Nicky. So like those two were our last ones that I remember seeing back in the day.
I remember we watched Chuck and Larry, garbage,
Yeah.
and then we watched Bedtime Stories,
Alright.
fucking garbage.
Yeah, but you watched
ground
Click.
control or something.
Yeah, Click,
What's the ground
fucking
control?
garbage, man.
The what?
It's like to ground control. What song is that?
Oh, that's
Mr. Deeds.
David
I know it's
David
in
Bowie.
Mr. Deeds, but
It's
That's
David
fucking
Bowie.
Major
Bowie.
Tom.
Yeah.
Major Tom. That's what it is. So that's what one of the songs on there. I can't remember which one.
Major Tom. I was like about to be like Major
There's
Tom,
yeah, but-
ground control.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Hallelujah.
But not like one of those songs on there. I can't remember. I want to say it's that one. Sound like that's what it reminds me of. It doesn't sound exactly like it, but I'm like Major Tom to ground control, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this has a lot of them has
ground control to Major Tom.
Yeah.
Something like that.
When it doesn't get that one. This probably those notes that were in that section sound a lot like this whole CD. I think reminds me of a good David Bowie album, though. You know, obviously David Bowie's not heavy, but you know he had harder songs.
David Bowie does have some.
David Bowie's got some wild
He's
shit.
got
man.
but I mean nothing like
But
Marilyn
he's
Manson.
got a discography that goes like 40 years,
Yeah.
where he consistently released something. He was the corn of his time.
His discography is up there with like Prince, where it's like no two albums gonna sound the same.
No, not at all.
But yeah, that's what it reminded me of, the Major Tom song. I was like,
Pussy Control. Pussy Control, Prince.
what are you talking about, David Bowie? Anyway,
I thought it was Marilyn Manson.
what's the last song on there? The last two songs. What were
The last two songs is Sole Coagula. And I've had one beer and I already can't speak. And the last track is Broken Needle. Both really fucking good.
Yeah, they're good. That's all you gotta say, really. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I love
So I
the
haven't
shit
got
out
to
of it.
say anything
Yeah,
yet.
give us some thoughts, Zach.
yeah, Zach.
Last night I went to listen to this by myself, and I had headphones in because she was asleep. I didn't want to turn it up because I want to turn music
Cut
up,
himself for the
and
first
I
time.
want to listen to it. So I'm sitting there, turn it on, and I actually get to hear it because I played it before while I was making dinner, and I got pretty much throughout the entire album, but I couldn't pay attention to it. I was cooking dinner, so finally sit down, listen to it, and I'm like, all right. Okay. And then the boring song comes on.
Is that
The title track.
Yeah.
It comes on and I'm like, skip. I already heard this several times. I'm going on. I want to hear something new. And I'm like, why does every song have to be like 5 fucking minutes? And I get bored. Because for one, he repeats the same shit. He's got his hook. He's got to drive that fucking nail in the goddamn coffin so hard and repeat it over and over.
Well, at least he doesn't do it as hardcore as he does on We Are Chaos. Cause
Yeah, But
Man.
he does it throughout the entire album. It's like it's got the same kind of... Not saying every song sounds the same, because it doesn't.
He stretches them out.
There's different things, yes. There's stretched out things in it. But when he gets to that typical moment, every song has the moment where he repeats the same
Kind of
chorus.
the same problem I'd be bitching about with Korn.
Yeah, yeah. But to me, it just bored the fuck out of me, because I'm like...
His are a little less predictable.
Like, he is padding the songs out.
Yeah.
Because they do not need to be that long. Because I was interested when the songs would first come on, and I'd hear the chorus would come for the first time, and then the second verse, the chorus comes on again,
Maybe a little different middle part, and then chorus,
yeah, and I'm like,
chorus,
you know, it's almost the same structure of Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time from Paul McCartney. It's just like, you got like 2 seconds before you go back to the chorus.
I hate that song.
I'm so tired of it. That is the worst fucking... Paul McCartney was like the worst in the Beatles. But...
He's the worst to play, oh.
But
Ringo Starr is better than Paul McCartney.
That'll start some fights. So...
He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
I'm just kind of bored with... The album kind of bored me.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, the songs do not need to be that long. For what they actually offer, as in something new and something different than he hasn't done before, to me, it wore out its welcome before the 2.5 minute mark, or the close to 4 minute mark, and then you're stretching on after 5 minutes for some songs. I'm like, dude, why? Why? And the last song, when he's like, I will never play you again, I'm like, yep. Oh no, I did it again.
Just spill it.
Just a little bit.
Oh,
like just a little bit. Just a tip.
Oh shit! Give
me a towel.
Yeah, let me find you
You know,
a rag.
I can kind of see that if you're really...
I totally see that.
If
That's
you're really trying to like listen to it, I can see that. Like with me, I was listening to it. I was in my car, and I think that they're not really like once you get past the first listen to me was the surprise, but after that, it's kind of like everything does kind of blend, and then like the heavier songs I think help the album. Like if it was just one long, like just boring fest of like most of the songs are. Like, so there's only 3 heavy songs on there really.
But it didn't, like I'm saying,
those
like,
3
the
help
initial
wake you up.
song intros and what it would lead to, I was interested, I was invested in hearing
no
more.
Solo or no kind of breakdown or anything to kind of separate it. It was just
But
kind
it
of
just
verse,
kinda-
chorus, verse,
yeah.
chorus, chorus, chorus,
Yeah, the structure bored me, and then it just kept going with the repeated same 3 or 4. Nah, that's just right. Same 3 or 4 words in your chorus. What do I do with this?
I got a trash can over here that I'm gonna try to make.
Ah, that was on the edge.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna make it with this.
But I feel you on that, and I'll say it is a very. He does pad, and he's always kind of done that.
Oh, but I wasn't done with my point. I spilled my beer and we all laughed.
Yeah.
When he said, I will never play you again, I will never play you again, I will never play you again, I'm like, yep, you're right. Because I'm never playing this again. That was like exactly what came to my head last night when I'm hearing it. I'm like,
I can't wait to say that on
yeah,
camera.
it's gonna be cool. But then I fucked it up. Then I fucked it up and spilled my beer.
You gotta love it.
Kind of ruined the moment.
Yeah.
But I totally feel you because he does that a lot. Where and you know what's real funny is he's like recently in the past 15 years really started to do that where he pads the songs out with unnecessarily repeating the choruses.
Yeah. See, that's why I love the last few Rob Zombies.
They're just short and sweet,
they're
straight to the point.
Exactly. He gets to it. There's no padding and bullshit. And even when he does have the typical Rob Zombie padding that would be just like samples from a movie, it's like quick, done.
And so the reason it doesn't bother me much, because it bothers me on other albums of his, where I'm like, this is dragging, this is padding. The reason it doesn't bother me on this is probably just because of how I'm more into how the album sounds different, like sonically. That I'm not
interested in the music.
Yeah, I am more
than what he
interested
has
in the
to
music.
say. It sounds better musically.
Yeah, because
than
what
the
he
last
has
album.
to say is, it's still good, but it's not, it's not profound anymore to me. I'm not a kid anymore. When I was a kid, he was saying shit, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. Now I'm just like, I'm glad you're still fucking doing it, man.
Yeah, respect.
I'll be like, damn, that was a cool line. That was a cool fucking line, dude. And so yeah, I totally feel you on that. I guess do y'all want to go? Do y'all want to rate them? Do you have anything else to say?
Nah, I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah, get your ratings out of the way.
I want to.
Well, you're gonna gush for a while.
Well, I'm just gonna say.
Wait on it?
I'm gonna give my rating out quick. It's a 9.
Oh,
It's one of the better Manson albums in
I'm
several
glad
years.
that you like it because it's been a while since one of your favorite bands came out with something that you like.
Especially Manson, one of my oldest favorite. One of my childhood motherfuckers.
Here I am finally experiencing that with my childhood.
Last time I felt that way was Pale Emperor, and Pale Emperor was the last time I felt that way.
That was 6 years ago?
Yeah, 5 years ago. And that was the first time I felt that way since fucking Golden Age of Grotesque. Now that was a long gap. That was there was like 3 or 4 Manson albums.
There was.
In between those.
The wait seemed longer than normal because when we were younger, you already had this back catalog you could get to, and then anticipate the next 2 albums.
But with this one, it was like we got Pale Emperor. That was like, all right, this is cool. This is going in a cool direction. And then Heaven Upside Down, I'm like, I wasn't feeling it. So I had to wait about 3 years. Now the thing is like people will say, "Oh, you're not a Manson fan." Motherfucker, I love Marilyn Manson. Even though he does albums.
You even got.
They got that for you because of the.
Yeah, got that up there.
Yeah, you got Marilyn Manson stuff that not every typical, or you got Marilyn Manson stuff that diehard fans don't have.
Like what?
Some of your there'd be like a person that would say he's a diehard Marilyn Manson fan, but not have some of the CDs you have.
Yeah, I guess.
Like
not everybody's got the We're From America CD.
They'll say they're a diehard fan and just have 3 albums.
I see.
I feel
you there.
You've got like everything, the Spooky Kids, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
you got the book.
I'm a big.
You got the DVD. You got the
since I was
VHS.
Yeah, VHS right up there.
Yeah, I mean, you got.
Yeah, I'm a big Manson fan, and I can admit when an album doesn't do me right. And like sometimes
Get off me.
It's hard to admit.
Sometimes an album later on, like with the Eat Me Drink Me album, sometimes later on I'll like it a lot. I still don't really like the whiny lyrics on that one, but musically, that's a good ass Manson shit.
On what?
Eat Me Drink Me. The
Man,
straight
you
up,
hated that
I
when
hated it when it came
You
out.
fucking
I
hated
that.
I was surprised when you actually started talking positive on it.
Yeah, right. I didn't really start talking positive on it until we started to do those reviews on the Monster Show a couple
10 years later, it grows on you.
But yeah, 9, because it's a very good, just a good
We're gonna call that
album.
when something grows on you, like an album you didn't like back in the day. We're gonna call it "So the Balls Dropped on It."
The balls dropped on
The
it.
balls dropped. It grew on you. The balls dropped.
But yeah,
You're old enough to like it.
Started out with blue ball.
It's a good sounding album. It's got some decent lyrics, and it's got just a cool sound, and it's a decent, fun direction, a surprising direction for Marilyn Manson, and I like it a lot. I give it a 9. I would give it a 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9. Just because.
Pure chaos.
10 is legendary, man.
That killed it. That 10.
10 is legendary, where it's like perfect, flawless. You can listen to it back to back every time you turn it on and not feel like you have to skip.
Exactly.
track.
And I do be skipping We Are Chaos.
Yeah. So
That's the thing. And I have to knock a point.
9 was high for you.
9.
9 is high, but 9 is a.
Does it get a badass seal of approval?
No. Well,
why so high?
I guess
That makes no sense. Is it Manson fan approved?
Me, yeah.
There you go.
Manson fan
There you
approved.
go.
Manson
There
fan
you go.
approved.
We'll call it that. Fan approved.
Fan approved. Cause I mean, I'll never.
If you're like eating it at a 9 or leaving it at a 9, I don't know why I said eating. Putting it at a 9, that's.
To me, it's almost perfect.
That's giving your stamp of approval as, you know, as a fan and me, I recommend this. It's a 9.
To me, it's almost perfect.
You haven't done a Manson retro, have you?
We did several years ago, and then I did one with Alex Edwards on from horrorphilia.com.
Then we did the ranking early this year.
Yeah, then we did it. I've sucked a lot of Manson dick. Where would I rank this one?
See, you probably have to move some shit around.
I might have to move some shit around because this one is really good. I mean, it's closer to Pale Emperor for me.
I wouldn't put it anywhere near the classics.
Nowhere near the classics. But like I said, after Pale Emperor, this one, and after Golden Age of Grotesque, this, Pale Emperor, and Eat Me, Drink Me are probably my favorites. Whereas Heaven Upside Down, High End of Low, and the worst Manson album to me, Born Villain, are still the
That's got its
bottom
most
3.
emo cover ever.
Bottom 3. The reason, and the thing is like, it's not even bad. Born Villain isn't even bad. I just never remember anything
It's
off
the
of
most bland.
So fucking bland.
It's like Marilyn Manson by numbers.
It is so
it's the most Marilyn Manson Marilyn Manson it could be.
Yeah, it is the most Marilyn Manson a Marilyn Manson could Marilyn Manson.
Like he didn't even really try.
It did not. It feels like there's just no effort on a lot.
There's no love, no.
It just feels like, gotta do another Marilyn Manson now. It's been 2
gotta
years, gotta do another Marilyn Manson. But 9 all the way, hardcore album, definitely recommended, especially if you're just looking for something.
Is
different.
he one to release an album every election year, or just about?
Roughly. I mean,
when did Heaven Upside Down come down?
That was 17, so
okay.
about a year.
Okay, 2000 was one.
Yeah,
96 was another.
Oh yeah, 16. But yeah, highly recommend it, especially if you want something different. It was a great surprise, a really great surprise. That was another thing. Bar was low for me, and it's been low for years.
Do you think he misses being
the God of Fuck?
Well, yeah. See, I'm saying, do you think he misses being accused of children shooting up schools?
Well, that's the
and
thing.
Stuff like that.
Marilyn Manson.
Do you think he misses being the one that everyone used to fear or talk about in the media?
I can see a little, maybe, because the thing is people always write him off as, he's just trying to be a shocking guy. The dude has not been shocking since Hollywood. Let's fucking face it. I mean, it's like
acclimated to like.
After Hollywood got a bit of that. Hollywood came out after Columbine. That was like the big moment. After that, nobody gave a fuck. The mainstream didn't give a fuck anymore. The world is not afraid.
Because the mainstream media was moving away from that.
Yeah, the world is not afraid of the stuff Marilyn Manson does and says anymore. Now they're afraid of WAP. That's the thing. That's where we're at now.
It's WAP and WAP.
That's the thing. That's where we're at now. They're not afraid of that shit.
It's the new Lil Kim, but no one paid attention back then.
Yeah. But that's where we're at now.
That's what's funny, because when the WAP or WAP came out, Melissa's all over, and I'm like, well, what about old shit that you grew up with that was nasty like that? She said, well, I used to like Lil Kim, and she started playing it on YouTube, and I'm like, I bought her a CD, and she plays the shit out of it. She grew up with this shit, so give her some nostalgic feelings.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
So,
but give me y'all's ratings.
My rating, as I already said, I didn't. Nah, it ain't that bad. I mean, like, I was bored at the.
But you can respect the difference.
I respect the difference. My thing is, like, I was bored mainly on a songwriting, like as a songwriter's perspective. Because if I get bored with the song, I'm sure they were bored recording it. and they're going to be bored playing it. If I'm bored listening to it, that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, I don't think this is a good album that would be played live. Like if he's just on a tour right now, this is one of those albums.
This is an album you cherry pick songs from, and you're like, well, I'll play this one this night, and I'll play that one this night.
It's a Spotify album. It's nothing like.
That's what everything is leading
like
towards.
this would be like an unplugged style to me. To me, like a lot of the songs on there are very slow, so it's kind of like one of those things where
it'd be really cool if Marilyn Manson did
an unplugged album like this tour just for this album. And all the heavy songs were just redone for an acoustic setting. I think that would be really cool. And I get that's to me, this is definitely not one of those like albums where you can play live. You'll just be bored with the song. You're like, can you play it?
Play a little different.
Something else. Something scarier.
Can I make a suggestion? Sweet Dreams.
Please.
And they're like, no, you're gonna listen to Perfume, and you're gonna love it.
How about Dogma?
Perfume would be a good song actually live.
Yeah.
Because it's heavy.
Misery Machine.
But
no one wants to go to a concert like that, like a real concert, and he's like playing We Are Chaos. Like
he's nobody
is gonna want to hear that at a metal concert, a goth metal concert.
Fucked up and complicated.
Like, I mean, it was a boring. Even David Bowie, who has a shitload of songs like that, would not. He's like, nah, no.
Like, sorry, I'm not gonna play
the way you said that again just made me think of I don't know where you made it. Oh my goddamn boy! You like to see homos naked? Oh, all right. Oh, well, man. Goddamn boy! Everybody know that.
Man, Joe Dirt.
No jerk.
Oh,
But so what's your rating, man? What's your rating? I want a cigarette and another beer.
prolong that number. 5.
5. Because it's average to me. I mean, there are good parts.
You're not a Manson
I'm not a Manson
like
fan. I wouldn't even nibble on his nipple. I'm not a big Manson fan. Never have been. But I've always respected his music. I've loved, growing up with you and experiencing, Marilyn Manson's music and all that. But I've never dove down and been a big fan. It's just something on the background for me.
Yeah.
But I can respect it because I know the culture and I know everything about it.
It's like, this is cool shit, but it's not my cool shit.
Yeah. But I still respect him for, doing his thing and being the only... I mean, he's the only guy that hasn't really tried to change because the media is trying to make him change.
Yeah, he's doing his own thing.
Or this is famous now. This is popular.
He doesn't follow trends.
He's not a trend follower or anything like that. So I really respect that. But to me, this is a 5 because by the time he started saying, "I will never play you again," I felt the same way. I'm never gonna play you again. You're the most forgettable fucking Marilyn Manson album to me right now since the last Marilyn Manson album. I mean, that's just how I feel. That's my personal rating, and reviews are subjective. Music is too. So
that's why we got forced.
Everything is an opinion. It's just another opinion on how someone felt about that specific thing.
But I want to hear Josh before.
But it didn't bug me enough to be like, I want to stab the shit out of it.
A 5. Give me a little reason on that 5.
It's too damn average.
Just average. Too soft. Because I'm not gonna lie, I do miss the days of 1996.
Don't mention everything Zach bitched about.
I feel you. I do. Not gonna lie, I do pine for the days of Irresponsible Hate Anthem and just that heaviness. That and a little bit of it's in there.
It doesn't have the inks.
I think the last album that had a bit of that
sounds like
heaviness-
Great Big White World without the badass fucking guitars and all the rest of the music. Just same lyrically. It sounds like Great Big White World without the fucking music. It's like Great Big White World on Pale Emperor. Pale Emperor's music with Great Big White World. It just doesn't work.
So a 5?
Yeah.
So a 5.
It's not bad. It's just not like I don't like it that much.
I feel you, man.
I wouldn't shit on it. Like
yeah, I'm not mad that I
some parts of all the songs sound cool, but they don't fucking. It doesn't carry through, and they're too damn long.
I'm not mad that I heard it. So
true.
David.
I would say probably 7.
That's what I gave the what's it called? Slipknot.
No.
And the Corn.
Yeah, but I have better reasons than you did.
Yeah, you probably do.
So I would say a 7.
You're entitled to be wrong, David.
Like that's your opinion, but you're wrong.
That's what he's telling us too. You guys gave it 5s. No, there's only 9s around here.
I mean, everybody's allowed to be wrong sometimes.
Only 9s.
What? No,
Yeah,
I would say a 7, mainly because I did enjoy the album actually a lot more than.
Yeah, you texted me. You were like, "Wow, this was a surprise."
It amazed. It did. I'm not.
Because look, when I told him, he said, "What else can we do?" I said, "Well, the new Marilyn Manson's coming out too." He goes, "Really?" Well, I guess it'll be entertaining for the video or something.
I would love that text.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right,
Yeah.
First thing he comes back is like, "This is way better already than
Power Man. I was really. We'll get to the Power Man.
That's coming next."
That album's. Yeah. Anyway, no, I enjoyed a good portion of this album. I think with to me, when I rate it, it depends on the amount of songs. A good rating, right? Well, funny. I love albums with like 10 songs in it because you can easily give it a 1 through 10 on the amount of songs you actually enjoyed. 7 out of 10 of the songs I actually really enjoyed and would go back and listen to.
That's an awesome way to look
That's
at
a good
it.
way to
You
look
know,
at
I
it.
never thought of that.
So I mean, on a shitty album, if I like one song, guess what that rating's probably gonna be? And guess what we're going? No, but that actually is a little bit higher. But yeah, I would say 7. I think is good. It's not like my favorite. I mean, as you said, I'm not a huge Marilyn Manson fan, but I dig the first 3 albums that he's done. I like his heavier stuff. I'm a heavier guy. I like the heavier stuff.
We all learned how to play Marilyn Manson songs in high school.
Yeah,
we
young,
knew a few.
they were fun to learn. Now
But,
it's like the riffs aren't
They're
as
not as
memorable to
interesting.
me. Yeah, they're not as interesting.
Yeah, so-
but that's also because we had Daisy Berkowitz back then. We had John Five. We
You had better guitar players.
yeah,
but
now we have
when
who
they're
the fuck are these
playing
guys?
when they're playing with Rob Zombie, do you want to learn those fucking riffs?
You know, I never really thought about that.
Exactly.
Weird.
I mean, I would say because
I don't think it's the guitar.
to me it surprised me because I guess it's like you said, it's a more mature sound, and I never every time I heard a song off his last few years, I'm like, I forgot about it a few days later. I'm like, yeah, whatever, okay. And I know I've only heard most of the singles probably, but to me, it's always been really hard to get into Manson.
Put your foot all over this.
Yeah, so that's what pissed me off. So yeah,
See, the hype songs back then, man.
I think
Yeah, man.
7 out of 10.
The Manson hype songs was shit back then.
The CD itself, to me, wasn't that boring, except for the few songs. And some of them, the 3 I'm talking, I know I did not care for We Are Chaos at all.
No.
The last song on there
I'll never play you again.
yeah, I was like,
I will never play you again.
Well, what about the line on the one song? I'm not.
and then I didn't like the My Love All Over You or whatever.
What did he say?
Fuck, it's called. I didn't care for
I
that.
love all of you.
I didn't care for that song. It was
Just-
I don't
I'm
like
not.
Western
He
stuff.
says, I'm not special. I'm just broken, and I don't want to be fixed.
Oh,
Like, what do y'all think about a line like that? I'm
Heart-shaped glass is bullshit
right.
again.
I'm not feeling that.
Just shut up and slice your wrist this way, dude.
But yeah,
just,
I mean,
come on, emo kid, do it.
those 3 songs, though, to me were like the worst ones on there. But everything else, though, I really like. I like how he progressed each song in a way. Like, yeah, it had a consistent verse, chorus kind of thing. But like I said, We Chase the Dead was a really. I dug how groovy it was. It's just one of those ones you kind of bob your head to and listen to. And then you get a little bit heavier with the, Perfume and Infinite, whatever, I can't remember. Darkness. Infinite Darkness, and
that darkness.
it slows down a little bit.
So gothy.
Yeah, and then kind of like just, to me, it dies off at the last song. So it's kind of like, that's one of my least favorite songs on there.
Broken Needle.
Yeah, that one was just kind of like, alright, whatever, man. I'm done. Can we just move on?
I gotta finish this with this Power Man 5000.
The reason why, to me, 7's a perfect rating for how the album is, because it surprised me even. Like, I was like,
7 is not bad at all.
surprised that certain songs on there were like the Manson I enjoy, like the heavier stuff. So I was like, okay. And it kind of, like, I've always said in other videos that I like how, if albums flow okay. And after, once you hit Don't Chase the Dead, I think it starts flowing really well.
Yeah, it gets
It
gets
pop
better
kick
and
or
better
anything
and
like
better.
that. So, yeah. That's how I would say 1 through 10 albums are always great because I just go by how many of the songs I actually liked off of it.
Yeah, feel you there. That is a good.
If I liked them all, and maybe one sign of disappointing, then kind of like a 9. But
Yeah.
yep, that's my rating.
It's all right, you guys. Now
Overall,
I
it's a
do
7
gotta
because
do
everyone's
this.
7.
I asked you guys on Facebook.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that on smoke.
I asked
I
you
got
guys on
this.
Facebook earlier. I said, hey, we're gonna be reviewing all of these albums.
Oh, reading comments, sorry.
And some of you commented. We didn't get a whole lot of hits this time.
Because no one likes Marilyn Manson and Flaming Lips.
So anyway, let me see. Try to get to these comments. Yeah. Alright, so I asked you guys, and our buddy Joe Milla says, I haven't listened to the new Marilyn Manson album yet. Let me know in your video what tracks stand out the most. Also, tell me more about the Flaming Lips. I have never listened to anything of theirs besides Bad Days from the Batman Forever track. That song is so good.
And the theme song for 3 South.
Yeah. And I was on something to know, something to fight.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, and then on the Speaker Brains group, if you guys want to join the fun, join our Speaker Brains Facebook group. The only rule is don't be a dick. And we just post music news, music memes, and whatever. Anyway. What?
I just had to pee.
Man, where? Okay. And we had 3 hits on Speaker Brains. Our good buddy John Short says, love the new Flaming Lips. Gotta hear the new Manson. Had no idea Power Man 5000 were even still around. Which is like, yeah, that nobody talks about PM5K anymore.
Yeah, I can see why.
And then our buddy Michael Schwartz, he's a guy who likes Haken a lot. I'm wondering, is he getting this mixed up with Static X? Because he says Power Man did a good job of blending both vocalists. Neat stuff. I think he might be mixing this up with the Static X because it's still just Spider 1 on the, which, no fault, both bands sounded very similar in 1999.
They no longer do.
They no longer do, but even Wayne Static Dead sounds better than the new Power Man 5000. But I do like the new Power Man 5000 a lot. Anyway, he says, gotta hear the new Lips. He says, the new Haken is great. Still getting heavier. Virus pairs well with the last album. I look forward to the newer stuff that may harken back to stuff like Red Giant and 1984.
Giant.
Red Giant, what is... I don't remember that at all. I had heard all their albums. I don't remember Red Giant.
It must be a new thing.
Which
It might
album
be-
is that? I don't
Is it just
remember
a
listening
song?
to
Is
it.
it just a song?
It might be a song.
Is that what the name of it? I was about to say, I was like, I don't remember that as an album name though.
No, because 1984 isn't an album name either.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So anyway, he says that. He also says, oh, that's all he said. Our good buddy Mick Howell, he says, the new Avatar album is absolutely amazing. There isn't a song on the album I don't like. He says, they keep their sound unique to them, but sort of break away from their previous Avatar country carnival vibe. It's almost got a much grittier vibe than previous albums, but remains polished and clean. He says, I hate when bands say it's the next level or we really grew on this album, but if Avatar were to say that, I'd have to agree with them. It's definitely one of my favorite releases of 2020, probably my favorite, to be honest. And that's your thoughts on these albums. Now, people watching us now, I got a little announcement that I've been meaning to say for a while. Horrorphilia.com is sadly shutting down in February, but we were picked up by another buddy, Phil, on darkdiscussions.com. So we're still legit. We're still on our website. Anyway, you can catch all of our new podcasts, and we'll be slowly uploading the old ones to darkdiscussions.com under Speaker Brains. And our other podcast, Fresh from the Basement, will be on there as well. It's just Horrorphilia. Jason Lloyd, who runs it, he is. It's just getting overwhelming, man. I mean, the dude's getting podcasts all fucking day, and he's got to do a job. You know, I get it. It's a lot of fucking work and a lot of upkeep. And the past couple years, the problems that have. I mean, the website has almost shut down a couple times over the past couple years. But thanks a lot, Jason Lloyd, for picking us up and, you know, kind of making us feel legit, you know, on a fucking actual podcast network. And, you know, we met a lot of cool ass people on there, and people that I was listening to for a couple years before we got on that website that I'm buddies with now. We're all buddies with now. And so thanks a lot, Phil, for, I cannot pronounce your last name, sorry, but thanks a lot for picking us up on Dark Discussions. Now everybody, go to darkdiscussions.com, check out some of the other great podcasts, and the several that have moved from Horrorphilia over there, like Cut to the Chase, with my motherfucking boy, Dan Chase, and Lacey Luke. So we'll see you guys. Tell us what you think about this album on here. You got something?
No, I was just pointing.
Oh, we're all going to do the exact point. All right.
You don't say anything, you just